We've learned the Massachusetts man accused of violence on a recent United Airlines flight into Boston is also accused of assaulting a guard upon his arrival to the Wyatt Detention Center on Monday.
The man, Francisco Severo Torres, just appeared in federal court where cameras are not allowed inside. Alexandra Leslie is live in Boston tonight. Alex, what else did you learn in court today?
Well, the assistant U.S. attorney said that alleged attack at the Wyatt was unprovoked. We also learned about his initial court appearance on Monday and why the state requested that Torres undergo a mental competency hearing.
I'm Balthazar.
A situation that went from strange
Since I'm taking over this plane
to scary. And all captured on camera has now been entered into evidence in a case against Francisco Severo Torres. The U.S. Attorney's Office is accusing Torres of tampering with the door of a United Airlines flight from L.A. to Boston and then attempting to stab a flight attendant using a broken metal spoon. In federal court, where cameras are not allowed, the Assistant U.S. Attorney recounted details from the video and also brought up other incidents documented by police, including just 2 weeks ago in Leominster when police were called to a local barber shop. The incident report says officers responded to the shop after a man was making, quote, crazy statements, including that he was, quote, half angel and half devil. Chief Aaron Kennedy also told me the man said groups of people were after him with AR-15s, and then he left the shop. Police were called but could not locate Torres, so no charges were filed as a result. The assistant U.S. attorney also said in an interview after his arrest on Sunday, Torres said he would not die if he was stabbed in the heart or shot in the chest and would come back to life. The state requested the 32-year-old undergo a competency hearing because they did not believe Torres may understand what's happening. Torres said his client objected to any kind of evaluation. It's not clear what facility Torres will be heading to next. Reporting live in Boston, Alexandra Leslie, 12 News.
We've learned tonight about an incident at the Wyatt Detention Center involving the man accused of trying to stab a flight attendant on a United Airlines plane.
12 News reporter Alexandra Leslie joins us now from Boston, where the suspect appeared in federal court a short time ago.
In court, the U.S. Assistant Attorney said that when Francisco Severo Torres arrived at the Wyatt on Monday, he repeatedly punched a guard in the face, and it was unprovoked. Citing details of the United incident, the state asked for Torres to undergo an evaluation and for a competency hearing, and the judge agreed.
Homeland Security.
In video that has since made national news,
Since I'm taking over this plane. Right now. Oh no.
Bizarre statements allegedly made by Francisco Severo Torres were caught on camera. The U.S. Attorney's Office accused Torres of tampering with an exit door of a United Airlines flight from L.A. to Boston and then attempting to stab a flight attendant. The charges could land him life in prison. In federal court in Boston, where cameras are not allowed, the Assistant U.S. Attorney referenced the video of Torres on the plane.
Where are they diverting us? Because wherever it is, there's going to be a bloodbath.
The state requested a competency hearing, citing reasonable cause to believe that Torres had a mental deficiency to the point where he wouldn't be able to comprehend the proceedings against him. They noted in an initial court appearance on Monday, he introduced himself as Balthazar, something he said repeatedly in the video taken on the plane. At that hearing, Torres requested to be released. The 32-year-old's defense attorney said in court today that his client objected to any kind of evaluation. It's not clear where Torres is heading next, whether that's back to the Wyatt or another federal detention facility in Massachusetts. Both his defense attorney and the U.S. attorney declined to comment to reporters after today's hearing. Reporting in Boston, Alexandra Leslie, 12 News.